Hey friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you a new layout that I created using the currently story kit. I also played around with my Cricut as well today. I used my Cricut to write the word Thursday. I split it up into 2 columns and then welded it together so it's 4 letters in each row essentially, and then attached that to the white cardstock so it would cut and write all at the same time. My plan is, you saw me playing around with the acetate letters from LE Studio. That's the only thing in today's layout that I didn't use from LE Edwards, so my Cricut and the LE Studio. Everything else is LE Studio. You saw me playing around with those letters. I was looking for the number 3 because the title of my layout is Thursday3. I thought that combining my Thursday3 posts and photos that I take for Thursday3, I share them over on Instagram, and the currently story kit was just natural to put together. So I created a layout about my Thursday3s. I did want to use this journal card from the kit. I'm going to save the top half of it where it says basics of now because I can still use that on another layout. I really wanted to use the phrase that was beneath it. And so I trimmed it out, and then it's going to be eventually glued just below my title. I also wanted to cut out some of these speech bubbles that are on this 3x8 journal card that came in the kit as well. There's 4 of them on the page. I only used 3 of them because Thursday3 is typically just 3 right now facts about yourself, and that's it, not 4. So I can save that one for another project, but I'm just cutting them out and making sure that there is no orange peeking out around the edges from where I cut, and then they're going to be adhered in a column beneath my photo. So on the very left hand side of my layout base is all that white space. That's where all of my journaling and these little speech bubbles are going to go. On the right hand side of the page is all of my photos. My photos I printed at home. I printed them at 2 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches long so that they would fit the entire length of my layout. The layout base is a full size page. It's not going to go inside a page protector, so that means it is 7 inches by 8 1/4 inches. I am going to punch holes later on. I haven't done that yet, but they are going to go on the right hand side of the page. Quite honestly, I wasn't really thinking straight when I was doing the left hand side of the page, and after I got all the chipboard pieces glued on, I realized that hole punching on that side of the page probably isn't gonna work. So switch gears and I'll punch my word. I'm tripping over my words. I will punch the holes on the right hand side of the page so that it works, and then I'll just have to fill in that space in my album at some other point. It's no big deal. So as you could see just a moment ago, I had everything laid out the way that I envisioned it in my head, and that is how everything is going to be glued together. So this little phrase that I cut from that 3x4 inch journal card, I'm going to adhere to my layout with liquid glue. I could have used my ATG. I feel like the ATG tape though is a little bit wider than the 1/4 inch strips if I'm gluing something that thin to a layout. So I like to use my liquid glue just because it's easier to adhere, and then I don't have like glue sticking out, and it's a mess if I do it any other way. So I like doing it this way to keep it a little bit neater. I do use my ATG though to adhere these little speech bubbles. So like I said, there's going to be 3 that are layered in a column over on this side of the layout. I did use my T-square ruler just to make sure that they were straight. I am also, surprise, going to handwrite my journaling as well. I'm not particularly a fan of my printing or even my handwriting, but then who really is? I don't think any of us really if we're being honest with ourselves, really likes our writing. Even if there's nothing wrong with it, it's just one of those things that we don't like about ourselves, and I'm no different than anybody else. Mind you, I should just say I'm speaking for myself. I could totally be wrong, and somebody else out there might actually like their writing, and if you do, good on you. I don't. I prefer to type only because my writing is big and bubbly, and writing in small spaces is tough. And I find when I try and write small, it gets messier. So that's why I like to type my journaling and then print it. But in this case, because I was using those 3 speech bubbles, I thought that I would do something a little bit different and handwrite my journaling. What I did for the journaling is I actually had to turn my camera off. I record with my cell phone, and I needed to go to my Instagram, and I wanted to pull out some of the journaling that I had done on my Thursday3 posts and rewrite them for my journaling on this layout. But because I use my phone for recording and I use my phone to play on Instagram, I turned off the camera, wrote it down on a separate piece of paper, and then wrote it out. I also had to cut out all of my journaling from this video as well because my head got in the way and it got blurry, and it wasn't good. So I cut that all out and just moved on. So you saw me complete the rest of the page. I just added those chipboard circles, which were part of the Currently kit as well. And I'm adding some of these phrase stickers over top of my photos, which is also part of the kit. And that brings me to the end of this layout, friends. I had a lot of fun putting this layout together. It was another layout that came together super quickly, and what I had envisioned in my head and then translated to Cricut Design Space, which is where I design everything before I physically put layouts together, translated like flawlessly. So it was a lot of fun, which was great because I had the morning to myself. My kids were at a sleepover last night. It's the first time in a couple of years, probably since before COVID, that we've done anything like this before, and I loved having some downtime. Thanks for joining me today, friends. I hope you enjoyed my chatty video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and a like. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope I inspired you in some way. I will be back again, hopefully soon, with more creative inspiration.